Will Mr. Gibson and Ms. Lauren Murphy please come forward?
Mr. Mike Pressbone, I present the candidate for honorary degree.
Thank you, Denny. Fontbonne University celebrates its Catholic identity and heritage with pride and commitment. Faithful to its mission, the university seeks to educate women and men to think critically, act ethically, and serve responsibly. In promoting this philosophy, Fontbonne recognizes individuals whose lives give evidence of embracing the mission, vision, values, commitment, and Catholic identity of Fontbonne University. Lauren Murphy, public speaker and traumatic brain injury survivor, graduated from Fontbonne University with a bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising in 2010. She went on to earn an MBA from Lindenwood University in 2011. Just after completing her master's degree, she headed east to pursue a lifelong dream of living and working in New York. Determined, passionate, and supported by a strong network of family and friends, she accepted a job that included travel throughout the country. During a 2013 business trip to Los Angeles, Ms. Murphy, an avid runner, was struck by a car and critically injured during a morning run. Unidentified for several hours, she remained in critical condition for weeks, and because of severe traumatic brain injury, or TBI, she had only a slim chance of survival. Doctors suspected that if she did survive, she would most likely not be able to feed herself, walk, talk, or understand spoken words. Obviously, they had never met the Murphy family. But Lauren is nothing if not determined. And with the support and encouragement of her family and friends, she surpassed the odds and the doctor's expectations. Throughout the past 6 years, she has focused on her recovery, a process that led her back to Fontbonne University. In addition to regular physical therapy, Ms. Murphy participates in intensive speech therapy in Fontbonne's Erdley Family Clinic for Speech, Language, and Hearing. And she is an active member of Fontbonne's Aphasia Therapy Boot Camp, which helps individuals experiencing aphasia recover confidence and regain speech. These programs have helped her again find her voice, literally and figuratively, as well as her independence. Today, Lauren lives with her parents in O'Fallon, Missouri, and continues her recovery process, speaking publicly and often about her life in recovery from TBI. She is an inspiration to others, a role model for many, and perhaps most importantly, a strong and resolute survivor. In recognition of her achievements, the Board of Trustees of Fontbonne University confer upon Ms. Lauren Murphy the Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa this 6th day of May, 2019. Mr. Gibson, will you please hood our candidate? And your diploma. And I'll hold that for you while you speak. Okay? And I am honored to invite our newest honorary degree recipient, along with her mother, Colleen Murphy, to share her wisdom with our graduates today. Please join me in offering a warm welcome to Dr. Lauren Murphy.
Congratulations, class of 2019. I'm so excited to be here with you today. In 2010, I had my life planned out. What I was taught here at Fontbonne, it helped me to become independent and stressed.
Strong.
6 years ago, I had a really bad accident. I suffered from severe brain damage. I learned many life lessons. Here are my top 5. Number 1, show up. The first lesson is just show up. Easy peasy.
Yes, the first lesson is simple. All of you wouldn't be here today graduating if you didn't at first show up to Fontbonne, and then continue to show up to all of your classes. So it's so important to just show up and be present.
Some pretty cool people showed up to support me. Alex Brindolo invited my family to the playoff game.
Yes, Lauren was in LA at the time of her accident, and after about 2 weeks, her dad had to fly home to be with her younger siblings, and I stayed in LA with Lauren. Somehow Alex had found out about her accident, did not know us, reached out to someone that did, and invited her whole family to the playoff game, which was pretty amazing. Incidentally, Alex, now would be a good time to show up for Lauren and I.
Yes, please do.
Because we would love to take in a Blues game. Go Blues,
Go
right?
Blues.
Just kidding. Kind of.
Oh, yeah.
But we also had some members of the
Cardinals.
tweeted out get well wishes, some of the players as well as management, which was pretty amazing to see our city show up for us like that. But Lauren's favorite celebrity,
Taylor Swift, she came to the hospital and visited me, and I slept through her whole visit.
Yes.
No.
Lauren slept through the whole visit. That was kind of rude.
No,
She
sorry,
was still in a
Mom,
coma
Dad.
at the time, and her brain needed a little more time to heal. But Taylor couldn't have been more gracious. She sat with her dad and I for about 45 minutes and even FaceTimed with her siblings at home. But what was even better than the celebrities and sports figures that showed up for us is the everyday people. And when we arrived home, after how long in the hospital?
127 days in the hospital.
Yes, we rounded the corner to our subdivision
Oh,
and
it's
pulled down our
amazing.
street. What did we see?
Over 200 people showed up in the street
To support you.
me. Ah, it was amazing.
So it's very important to show up for ourselves, but it's even more important to show up for others.
Number 2, find your cheerleader. Everyone needs a cheerleader.
Yes, I would bet all of you here today have your number one cheerleaders watching you graduate. And it's great to have a cheerleader during the good times, but it's so much more important to have a cheerleader during the...
Tough times.
And there were times in Lauren's recovery that she was unable to cheer for herself. And she had many cheerleaders throughout her journey. And I'm going to show you guys a clip in a second. And in this clip, she's just beginning the rehab process. It's about 8 weeks after her accident. And it's her speech therapist acting as her cheerleader. And Lauren had to relearn everything. She was almost like an infant again. She couldn't hold her head up. She couldn't move her limbs. She couldn't sit up. She couldn't even focus. And she couldn't talk. So her speech therapist in this clip is trying to teach her how to swallow so she could regain the skill of eating.
I like that. That was really
I was not looking so good.
Yeah, no, you've definitely had better hair days, sister.
Oh, guys.
As Dr. Pressimone mentioned, Lauren has a condition that's called aphasia. And aphasia is a disability that robs you of your ability to communicate. And there's several forms of aphasia. Some people have a hard time expressing, saying their words, but can understand speech. Others have problems with reading and writing, and some people have problems with numbers. And Lauren, can you tell everybody what it's like living with aphasia?
I feel angry and frustrated, and aphasia is so hard.
Yes, aphasia is really difficult. And because Lauren's always been an overachiever, she has all forms of aphasia, which is global aphasia, which is really tough. And we could stand here and try to explain the complexity of aphasia, and we could probably talk for 45 minutes. We won't, I promise. But I have another clip, and this clip is about a minute long, and it kind of shows the process that Lauren has had to go through to regain her speech. And in this clip, it's 1.5 years past her accident, so it kind of shows how slow her recovery has been. And in this clip, she's simply just trying to come up with her little sister's name.
The next one I want you to show me is another one of your sisters. Which one out there is a sister? Is that your sister? Yes. And her name is? Write it down if you're having trouble with it.
Ryan.
No, it's not Ryan. She's older than Ryan. She's after Shannon, and her name is? Write it down.
I don't know how to
You
write
can.
it.
It starts with a K. What you got? Good. Okay, the next letter, you stuck? S. K-E-L. S. You can do the rest. K-E-L-S. Come on, you can do it. K-E-L-S-E.
Why?
Yeah. And her name is?
Kelsey.
Yes.
Oh.
Woo! Got it. As you can see, what a process,
Yes.
right? And with people with aphasia, often if they can't verbalize the word, you put pen to paper, and that can be helpful. And as you can see, I really had to cheer her on to even get her started, because none of us like to do anything if we're not good at it. And once I gave her that first letter, and she got the next two, I knew that she knew her sister's name. It was just stuck in her brain, and I had to give her the tools to get that out. And Lauren has literally had to fight for every word in the last 6 years. And things are still not perfect, right?
Of course.
That's why I'm up here today helping. Being a public speaker was not on my bucket list, yet here I am.
Us.
But things are getting better, and Lauren has worked really hard and continues to work hard.
Better. Number 3, kindness is free. It does not cost money to be kind.
Yes, that's something we have definitely learned throughout our journey, is that all the kind acts that other people have bestowed upon us has made this road so much easier. And we have a quote that we like that's by,
Mother Teresa.
and it reads, "Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible." And we all have the power to brighten someone's day. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It could be holding the door open for a stranger or simply smiling at someone. You know, what a gift it is that we have that we can make somebody's day better.
Number 4, work hard. Always work hard. Every single day, I work hard on my recovery.
Yes, and as you can see in the photos, Lauren on a computer, writing, filling up her medicine cassettes for the week. She works really, really hard, and those reading and writing skills were lost in the accident, and she devotes a portion of every single day to try to regain those. And Lauren, how many pills do you take a day?
19 pills a day.
Yes. So imagine how hard that would be to keep track of. Now imagine trying to keep track of that with severe brain damage. And Lauren does her part, you know, by maintaining a healthy lifestyle and taking her medication on time. But sometimes she has seizures, and sometimes those seizures sneak in, even with all of those steps. And when that happens, often she takes a step or two backwards as far as speech, which is really hard. All that hard work, and it just gets wiped away with a seizure. And there's been times where it's taken 6 to 8 weeks to come back, and she hasn't even been able to say her name. And she treats her recovery as if it's a full-time job.
course.
She treats it very seriously. But unfortunately, she also treats shopping as a full-time
number
job.
1. Right, you guys? Yeah.
So our point is this, you know, work hard, but make sure you have some fun too. Another thing that Lauren works really hard at,
Running, a lot of good runs.
Yes.
5 times a week.
yes, she runs a lot, and like I said, she had to relearn everything. So it took several months for her to even walk, and then several months after that for her to be steady on her feet. And because she has a pushy mother, the next logical thing
yeah,
would be running. And we got her out on the running course. And as you can see in the photos with her doubled over, sometimes those runs ended with her doubled over, and it took everything she had. Sometimes our runs started with her doubled over, and it took everything we had. But eventually she was able to do a full mile. And her time for that mile was 21 minutes, 47 seconds.
Okay, let's not talk about this.
So we weren't breaking any world records, but we were thrilled with that.
Yeah.
And I was her running partner, and I was on board with the 22-minute mile. I'm happy to report I have been fired
Yes,
as Lauren's
my
running
mom
partner.
has been fired. Woo!
And she now runs on the weekends, competes in 5Ks. She's done
Yes.
29 5Ks. She runs with her dad, and she's at how fast is your mile?
10 minutes a mile.
Oh, yeah, she's at a 10-minute mile, and that's average. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
And she's often in the, in the first mile, she's often in the low 9s, high 8s, so we're really proud. And the point is, you don't have to be fabulous at something, just take that first step and build upon it. Another thing Lauren works really hard at,
Speech therapy.
yeah, where do you do speech therapy?
Fontbonne University.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yes.
They're the best.
Yes, and how lucky is Lauren as an alum to be able to be back on campus to receive these services that she so desperately needs. And every single student and professor that we've come in contact with has been so knowledgeable and so passionate, and we are just very fortunate. And I know that Fontbonne is educating some terrific future speech therapists.
Number 5, never give up. This is so important. Never give up.
So in the beginning, her father and I heard some things that as parents was just really difficult to hear. The experts told us that her damage was so severe, especially on the left side, that she would never regain the use of her right arm. How's your right arm? They said that she would never walk again. She's not only walking, she's
Running.
yes. And in less than 2 weeks, she has her very first track meet. She has taken the first steps in becoming a para-athlete. So as a mom, to see this kid that was never supposed to walk, to be competing in 5Ks and track meets, it's pretty nice to have a front row seat to her hard work and tenacity. They said she would always need a feeding tube. Nope. And my personal favorite was that she would never be able to speak or understand words.
They were wrong. I still want to achieve many things. And I still want to achieve many things, and I will.
Yes, you will. So our hope for all of you here today is that when you go out on the road of life, life can often be messy.
Oh,
Obviously, most of you are not going to have a catastrophic injury to deal with like Lauren has. We hope nobody has a catastrophic injury to deal with. But you will meet some roadblocks and some detours. And we hope that you remember this day and remember these lessons that Lauren shared with you might make that road just a little bit smoother. So Lauren, can we recap?
of course. Number 1, show up. 2, find your cheerleader. 3, kindness is free. 4, work hard. 5, never give up. You got this, class of 2019. You got this. Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren, I know I speak for the graduates and their families and friends and faculty and staff and trustees in thanking you warmly for your address. I look out upon these graduates, upon whom we will confer degrees in a moment. Is there anything you can't do? I would argue there is not. So let's get to it.